Today I came to bring another physics chapter from the class 9, that is work and energy. This is the CBSE concept. In that, the first we have to discuss. First point is not much work in spite of working hard. In science, the work is done only when a force causes the displacement. That means in science, what is meant by work is whenever you apply force on an object, that must cause the displacement. But daily we are going to see some activities that do not involve the work. For example, if you see the first image, in this the lady is sitting simply studying, and in third image one lady is painting, and other example reading and doing some experiments. All these activities expend your energy, but in these all activities only the little work is done. Pushing a rock without moving it involves no work. In the second image, you are going to see a person is pushing a very big rock, but that rock will not move any side. That is why he is wasting his energy. He is working hard, but the work will not happen here because the rock will not move any side. That is why in this, by observing second image, we conclude that there is no work involved in the second image. And if you see the last image, one cartoon is holding the bag and will not move any side of the his place. That also tells us that it involves the no work. That is why standing still with the load on the head involves no work. That's why with these all examples we conclude that not much work in spite of working hard. You are hard worker, but work will not happen. This is the concept. Then second one, if you think like that, then what is the actual scientific meaning of the work, scientific conception of the work? As already we know that when a force is expressed on an object and the object is displaced, in another word you can call it as mode. Here the work is done. Then what is meant by force here? When you force expressed on an object, if you take any object, when you apply the force on that object, the object is displaced or moved, and we conclude that in this process the work is done. Now we are going to see some examples. In the first example, pushing a pebble or a pulling a trolley, and second one, a lifting a book. A small lady kid cartoon is holding a lifting a book, and a bullock pulling a cart. These are all example for the work is done here, because when you apply the force on these objects, they displaced from one place to another place, or you can simply call it as mode. That is why we take it as a work is done here. Then we must know that whenever the work is happened, the two conditions must be happened. What are these two conditions? First one is a force should act on the object and the object must be displaced from one place to another place. Then we conclude that the work is done here. What are the two conditions? First condition, a force must be act on the object, and second one, the object must be displaced from one place to another place. And next I will move work done by a constant force. What is meant by work first? The work is defined as it is a product of force and displacement. In formula you can write it as work done is equal to force into displacement, and symbolically we can write it as W is equal to F into S, where W is the work done and F is a constant force that is acting on an object, and S is the displacement of the object in the direction of the force. And if you see this diagram, one table is there. In that table, in one side the brick is placed. When you have to apply the force on brick, then the brick displaces from its original position to this side, and this much distance is moved, or this much distance displacement is taken by the object. When you apply the force, then object is the displacement. Here we conclude that the work is done in this case. Then this is the little concept on this work and energy. In my next class I will discuss the continue part of the this chapter. Now you have to subscribe my channel and like also, and you have to click the bell button, and whatever my further videos will come you have to see first, and you have to share this channel for your maximum friends to get more marks in your examination. Thank you.